Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going today? I am the Digital Ham. Today, I'm here with a review on the Behringer U-phoria UMC22. Let me show you a picture of it. Shazam. There it is. So, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put up in the left-hand corner a live view of what this thing looks like while I'm recording so I can point out all the buttons and stuff like that. So, in the words of Nacho Libre, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So, first thing first, I'm going to go from left to right. There's my finger. Left to right. So the first thing is this. This is going to be your input for your XLR, also a 1/4 inch jack. I'm going to show you guys this picture here, and you see how it has a little hole in the interior of it. That's for your 1/4 inch jack. So you can plug in a XLR, which requires phantom power, or if you don't need phantom power because you're using a dynamic microphone, you can plug in that. So dynamic, condenser, it'll take both. The second thing is going to be this little guy right here. That is going to be your input for your second microphone, possibly if it's 1/4 inch and it's also dynamic because it cannot, 1/4 inch jack receivers outputs cannot do phantom power. But that's your control right there. The third thing is going to be our control for our microphone. So as you can see, if I turn this up, I'm going to go ahead and get the gain from my microphone. That's how you record it, or that's how you use it. Well, right down here, you're going to see a little green light. That's an indicator light letting you know that the interface is receiving a signal. But above that is going to be a clip light. That shines red, and if you go into a clip, it's going to go ahead and let you know, I'm clipping. So what is a clip? Just for people that are maybe don't understand the terminology behind this and don't understand what it exactly is. A clip is nothing more than when you overpower the signal too much where it becomes distorted and it sounds like shit. Okay? Pretty much it in a simple, plain nutshell, right? You do not want a clip. It means that you're overpowering the microphone, you're overpowering the amp, and it's going to sound like crap, and you're going to get all kinds of distortion and horrible sounds that you're not really going to want in your recording. So the next little knob is going to be for this input, our number 2 input. So once again, let's plug in a guitar, let's plug in an extra microphone, let's do whatever we want to do with this 1/4 inch, and this is going to be our control. And once again, we have a activity light or an indicator light letting you know that it's working, which is going to show green just like on this one. And then also it's going to have a clip light too. If you crank up the, you're just going too crazy with your freaking guitar and you're just, Dimebag Darrell-ing it, you're going to see that that is going to indicate you're clipping. The next thing is going to be our monitoring. This is where I become to have a little bit of an issue with this interface. Now, before I say that, let me just say this. This is a $39.99 interface, guys. This is a intermediate, I would say, in my opinion. I mean, as far as the quality level, I would say it's intermediate. It does have Midas, as you can see right here, Midas preamps on it, which are really, really good and very, very high quality. That's why you get very, very low self noise out of this interface. But let's remember, guys, this is a budget-minded interface. This is not a $60,000 piece of equipment. This is not a $30,000 piece of equipment. This is a very entry-level, intermediate style interface. Here's my side. This little button right here allows me to hear myself as I speak. If you guys are new to this terminology, it's called monitoring. Monitoring allows me to adjust on the fly. Oh man, I'm too quiet. Let me go ahead and adjust this. Wow, I just hit the freaking camera. But let me adjust this. Okay, all right, I'm good. Okay, so you can hear yourself, so you can make those adjustments, and you can realize I'm too quiet. Nobody's going to be able to hear me on my recording. Then I'm going to have to boost it in post, and it's going to sound like crap because you're going to have a whole bunch of white noise. Okay, so this gives me the ability to do all of this on the fly. Too close to the microphone, too far away from the microphone, all of that stuff. That's very, very important. That's why DJs, that's why people that do podcasting, that's why people on the radio, they all wear monitoring headphones and they all are monitoring themselves as they're doing their recordings. Okay. So The problem I have with this is I have this thing pegged out. You cannot hear how quiet it is in my headphones. It's very, very faint. It's not very loud. And I'm not saying that I want to hear myself overpowering, but I'm maxed out. I cannot go any higher. And I don't know if that's because this microphone requires so much gain that, whereas if I'm almost at half, half gain here. So on another microphone, I might be at a quarter gain and I have all that headroom. Headroom is the space between where you're maxed out and, you've got some room to play. Well, I don't have any room to play as far as my monitoring. My monitoring is as high as it'll go. And if I need more, there's no more to give. That sucks. I do not like that. There's a second part to that complaint that is not linked to specifically the monitoring side, but the ability to hear music and sounds coming from my computer. So by hitting this button, I'm also allowing the sound from my computer to pass through my headphones along with my own monitoring. And that's great. But the problem is these aren't separated by two separate knobs. One should be for the computer output. One should be for the monitoring output. I don't have those. That really disappoints me because it's something that should be included into this interface because, when you play something back, you just record it for music. You want to be able to hear it and you want to be able to just, crank it up, hear the definition. And at that point, you're not monitoring yourself. You just want to hear what's coming out of the PC. Well, that's not the case with this. It's a very big downside in my opinion. It does piss me off. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, guess what? It's still $39.99, guys. So we have to be, our mindset has to be, what am I getting for what cost? Okay. When we get into thousands upon thousands of dollars, we have a lot more things that we are offered as far as features, but guess what? We're paying for it. So, and the reason I went after this specific unit is because of the fact that it had the right amount of everything. It had the right preamp and quiet preamps, which is what I wanted, and it didn't have an additional whole bunch of other BS that I don't need. I have a mixer with over 20 outputs on it. It's huge. I can do 1/4 inch all day long. XLR, I don't have as many. I think I have like 10 outputs. So I don't need that. So my focus is I want good preamps on my interface. So therefore, it doesn't make sense for me to buy, a Scarlett 2i2 because I don't need that. I'm not doing that kind of stuff. That's why I have a good mixer. So in my opinion, I process it as I want good preamps and I don't really care about having 20 other things. Now, if I was in a different market and had a lot more of a budget, I probably would go after something like, having a built-in compressor, de-esser, something like that. That would be very, very helpful to me in my recordings. But as a whole, it had what I need and it didn't have what I didn't need. So there it is. The last thing, guys, is going to be the headset input and its 1/4 inch jack. I do not like that at all. I do not like having two forms of two different adapters just to get my shit to my headset. I don't like that. I think that that's a waste of space, and I think that they would have been smarter to use 3.5 millimeter headphone jack just like they did with my Behringer Xenix 302. So that's a downside. We're going to move to the back side, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and take the camera in that window out of the picture because I'm going to be using the box now. So now we are to the back of our interface. And you're going to see three different things or three different options, okay? And I'm going to have to be very careful on how I do this because I can't really see shit. The USB input is the most common, and guess what? If you guys are getting anything USB mixer, USB interface, USB this, USB that, mic output, whatever, all of it has this style of adapter. It's pretty plain and simple. Allows the information to come and go from the computer to the interface, from the interface to the computer. Very self-explanatory. Our second thing is going to be, which I know you guys can't see that very well, but that's 48 volts of phantom power, okay? And here, let me go into a little bit more depth and explanation of why this is important, okay? This is important for the fact of when you want to turn it on, you can turn it on. When you turn it off, you can turn it off. You want it on, off, don't matter. Okay. This is important because this interface does not allow that. Okay. It does not allow, it's got a constant 15 volts, a phantom power that cannot be shut off at will. That is not good, because when you cannot control how much voltage you're putting into your line of equipment, it can actually cause a lot of issues. And that's what I was having issues with my situation. Because I couldn't turn it off here, well, guess what? It doesn't matter where I put it. If I put it before my mixer, and my mixer supplies the 48 volts, well, then I'm backfeeding that electricity from the mixer back into from the mixer, it's getting backfed from the interface, because it's going from XLR from my interface back to XLR to my mixer. That's not good. You don't want to feed extra, electricity into the system. It can backfeed, and it can cause issues. This is not something very common that a lot of people know about or a lot of people deal with. But in my case, I had to deal with it because, once again, can't turn it on and off. So that's a very big, important thing, in my opinion. The last thing, guys, is going to be over here, which we have two 3.5 millimeter adapters or inputs for monitors. Now, they did 3.5 on the back, but they didn't do quarter inch on the back for the monitors. But they didn't use that for a 3.5 for the front for our headphones. That's so freaking stupid. I think that's really a flaw in the design of why they did that. Now, I understand that a lot of the monitors might have just a 3.5. That's okay. That's all fine and dandy. But I mean, I just think that they should have given it to us in the front of our interface for our headphones. So that's it in a whole, guys. Hopefully you guys have a little bit more clarity on the quality of this product, of the potential of this product, and hopefully you guys now can make a little bit better of a buying decision. It's always helpful to have somebody that can give you a good review on it, and hopefully you guys can make a wise investment now and not be, on the fence on it, whether you think it's a piece of junk or it's actually worth the money. In my opinion, absolutely, this is a 2 thumbs up type of product, in my opinion. It does have drawbacks, guys, but we have to weigh the amount for the quality. The quality and the amount is inseparable. If you go up in price, you get better quality. If you go down in price, you get worse quality. And I'm not saying this is bad quality out of this product. I think it's very good for what you're getting, but do not have expectations that exceed the price range in which you are shopping. That's kind of just a basic essential for when you're going out and trying to do research on a product. If you have an unlimited budget, you'll find all kinds of great things. But, when you get in the lower end, it gets very hard to distinguish the pieces of shit and the really good stuff. So anyways, that's it in a whole, guys. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. As always, if you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell for notifications for whenever I post a video. And that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you guys next time.